Tonight, what's next with the Conestoga takeover?
It should be a full inquiry, as I say. I think the Auditor General should be stepping in.
Union leaders ask the Premier for more action.
What started as a pleasant conversation turned maybe a little bit not so pleasant.
After the firing of the Board of Governors over spending concerns. Game 2. Scores! The Kitchener Rangers look to widen their lead in the OHL final tonight. Plus, familiar faces.
I do think it's the right time.
Moving on.
It just felt like it was time to step aside.
2 longtime local mayors on why they're each ready to call it a day. Good evening. What happens next? That's what Conestoga College's union leaders are asking after the province's decision to fire the Board of Governors over concerns about what it called financial mismanagement and egregious spending. Well, the unions say the review that the province is planning is long overdue, but they say the deep dive into all of this must include accountability and explanations about if and how money will be paid back. CTV's Colton Weens had a chance to speak with the leaders of 2 major union locals representing workers at the college. And Colton, one of them actually had a conversation with the Premier first thing this morning.
Yeah, that's right, Tony. Vicky Poirier, the head of OPSU Local 238, says she received a call from Premier Doug Ford this morning saying she was told the province plans to investigate this to the fullest. Poirier happy to hear it's happening, but worries it might not lead to anything. However, she says she finally feels validated after years of raising concerns with the board.
That is a significant amount of money, and it's egregious, especially right now when that institution has had the largest amount of layoffs at 500.
When the Colleges and Universities Minister announced the firing of Conestoga College's Board of Governors and the appointment of an administrator to oversee its operations, faculty unions say the concerns that were raised about financial mismanagement echoed what they've been saying for a while.
And that is how I have felt in the past few years, is that am I just fighting but not getting anywhere? It almost feels like you're swimming upstream. So to finally have this validation that our members are not crazy.
But Vicky Poirier says she also had some different thoughts when she got a call from Premier Doug Ford this morning.
What started as a pleasant conversation turned maybe a little bit not so pleasant.
Poirier says she asked the Premier why it's happening now and for transparency with the review.
The public release of the financial audited data, a fresh board of governors with community input into the selection process. That $3 million or however much it was that paid out should be returned. And locally, my members are calling for the removal of John Tibbitt's name on that Waterloo campus building.
The province says it was the skyrocketing salary of former President John Tibbetts that prompted an audit, which uncovered what it called egregious spending. Poirier says Ford told her the province is stepping in to be more transparent, but OPSU Local 237 President Leopold Koff also questions the timing.
I think that the administrator was already waiting for the call officially for her to take the post. This seems to be staged.
And says the decision feels like government overreach.
Instead of having a publicly funded or community-based selection of Board of Governors, it's now a one-person Board of Governors now who is like a turnaround CEO.
Koff's union also sent a letter to college management this afternoon asking them to pause the layoff process.
We would like to suspend any further layoffs which were pending for full-time faculty.
Meanwhile, the union says their members who are still working continue to do their best for the students, but are concerned about the school's reputation.
We're embarrassed about this, like the taint. I do not wear Conestoga College gear. I am embarrassed. I am there to support our members. I am there to make sure that the students have the experience that I had as a Conestoga College graduate.
Now, Poirier and Koff also want the unions to be involved in choosing a new Board of Governors. The province hasn't said how long the administrator's review is expected to take or what the next plans are for the school's governance. Tony.
Okay, Colton, thank you. CTV's Colton Weens with new reporting on the shakeup at Conestoga College. Okay, time for a first look at the weather on this Friday. Let's head over to Ashley Bacon, live in studio. We were treated to so much gorgeous sunshine today. It left me hopeful that the weekend will have something to follow up with it.
Well, look, it's going to start off okay. Let's put it that way. But let's enjoy Friday while we have it, Tony, because as you said, it was a beautiful end to the work and school week. Sun was shining first thing this morning. In some parts, though, we actually woke up to a little bit of frost and snow on the ground, but I'll have those details a little later in the show. Right now, let's talk about what's happening on our radar. Very clear conditions for the most part for southern Ontario, more than what we've seen over the last few days. Now, that doesn't mean we're completely out of the woods. We might see a spotty shower through the overnight hours, definitely in for some rain through Saturday afternoon, but right now we are sitting at a very comfortable 14 degrees, a westerly wind going at 17 kilometers an hour. And as we take a look at what's happening around most of southwestern Ontario, very comfortable conditions, a few degrees warmer than what we were feeling this time yesterday. And the good news is, Tony, temperature-wise, Saturday is looking like it will be a really nice afternoon.
Okay, like hearing that. That's a good start. Yeah. Ash, thank you. We'll get the rest of the details from you shortly. An air ambulance was called into the scene of a serious crash near the town of Wellesley this afternoon. The OPP say the crash was reported at Perth Road 107 and Perth Line 47. One driver was taken by Orange Air Ambulance to a trauma center with life-threatening injuries. The second driver had minor injuries. Perth Road 107 is closed for the investigation, and police have been asking people to avoid that area. Waterloo Regional Police say they've shut down a chop shop in Cambridge, recovering 18 stolen vehicles in the process. In March, officers began looking into a suspected illegal vehicle salvage operation on Eagle Street. Then, earlier this week, they carried out a search warrant at buildings in Cambridge and at a building in Cambridge, and at a home in Kitchener. Police say many of the vehicles had already been stripped for parts. A 51-year-old man and a 19-year-old man, both from Kitchener, are now facing several charges. Both of the accused were held for a bail hearing. We are hearing about a number of arrests in a series of smash and grab robberies, including one that happened in Waterloo Region. Halton police have arrested 7 people who face more than 50 charges in Project Pinnacle. Police say they identified an organized group that was operating in the GTA. In one case, suspects backed a vehicle into a store, smashing through a wall before using hammers to break display cases and steal jewelry. The suspects also used stolen vehicles with cloned license plates. Halton police say the March 2nd robbery at the Charm Diamond Center in Cambridge was part of this investigation. Well, next, a tragedy in eastern Ontario today, a triple homicide in the city of Brockville, south of Ottawa. A mother and her 2 daughters were found dead inside a home, and a 17-year-old is charged now with 3 counts of first-degree murder. CTV's Caitlin Wilson is in Brockville with this report.
It's heartbreaking. They were a good family. They really were good kids.
It's a loss many in this tight-knit community say is hard to process.
It's still unbelievable. I'm trying to get a hold of it. Just puts a bad feeling in your stomach.
Bouquets of flowers sit outside this apartment building in Brockville, where police say a 49-year-old woman and her 2 daughters, aged 15 and 17, were found dead. Police say officers were called to the building on Cartier Courts around 11:30 Thursday morning.
Based on the evidence at the scene, the deaths were deemed as suspicious in nature. It is believed at this time that a knife was involved in the incident. However, investigators are still processing the scene to determine the totality of what took place.
A 17-year-old boy is now charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and also charged with assaulting a police officer. Police say he was arrested a couple of hours later around 1:30 at a property on the outskirts of the city. Investigators say the accused was in a relationship with one of the victims, but have not released additional details about what may have led to their deaths.
It is an incident that's isolated. It's not a random attack. Okay, this is involved intimate partner violence with these individuals.
Tarek Kerr says he lived across the hall from the family for more than a decade and watched the girls grow up.
They're always heartwarming. You always saw them out on the balcony when they were playing or when they were outside. I saw them out in the hallways, coming back from school. So It was always heartbreaking.
Throughout the day, more flowers continued to appear outside the building, a growing memorial from a community struggling to come to terms with what happened.
I don't know. It's hard to believe.
The 17-year-old accused appeared in court for a bail hearing Friday and remains in custody. Caitlin Wilson, CTV News, Brockville.
We have learned that 2 of the Ontario residents who are self-isolating following a deadly outbreak of Hantavirus on a cruise ship are in the Grey Bruce Health Region. CTV's Scott Miller has the latest on the health unit's response and the message to the public about the situation.
A hantavirus outbreak on board a cruise ship half a world away has found its way to make waves in Midwestern Ontario.
Here in Grey Bruce Region, we have 2 individuals who were passengers on that cruise ship and were potentially exposed to hantavirus.
The duo, who disembarked from the infected cruise ship in mid-April, returned to Grey Bruce on April 25th and have been self-isolating ever since. Grey Bruce Health Unit officials are checking in on them daily.
They're well, they're not experiencing any symptoms of illness. And so we are checking in with them while they isolate at home to confirm that they're not developing any signs or symptoms of hantavirus.
3 passengers aboard the MV Hondius have died from hantavirus since the cruise ship left Argentina on April 1st. 8 more have contracted the virus that is usually spread from animals to humans, but can be contracted person to person.
This is many days out from their travel and return to Ontario. So we have good assurance that they had not inadvertently spread any risk to the general public.
Now, health officials are not revealing where this couple are from in Grey or Bruce County, but they say it actually doesn't matter as long as they keep self-isolating. The potential concern or harm to the community is almost zero.
We've confirmed that they're well, they don't have the disease, and we're following up with them closely. The risk to the community is very, very low.
The duo will be monitored for 45 days, the potential incubation period for hantavirus, says Dr. Graham.
We're not expecting any others coming to Ontario. It's just the 2 that we're monitoring on a daily basis to ensure they remain asymptomatic. So they're not cases, they're contacts from the ship.
Here at Public Health, this is something that we do routinely, where we follow up with individuals who've potentially been exposed to infectious diseases and prevent any potential spread within the community. And so it's something that we're very confident and able to do. And so we have this situation well in hand.
In Grey Bruce, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Well, turning now to the OHL Championship Series, the Kitchener Rangers can widen their lead in their quest to become the OHL's best as they host the Barrie Colts for Game 2 tonight. CTV's Karis Mapp is live at the Odd right now. That's a familiar view, Karis. Fans clearly fueled by that Rangers win to open this series.
Absolutely, Tony. I'm not sure if you can see them behind me, but the gates just recently opened and the ones in front of me are flooding in. You should see the sea of blue and white. Everyone's so excited. It is a sold-out game and there are clappers on every seat, so it's for sure going to be a packed house and probably a very loud one. Now, the ones that I spoke to earlier said that they are so excited, especially after that big win that we saw on Wednesday. Game 1 saw the Rangers get the edge in the series with a 5-2 victory on Wednesday. Like I said, the Blue Shirts drew first blood with a goal from Andrew McNeil 10 minutes into the first period, with another goal late in the third period. Sam O'Reilly added an empty netter to wrap up the scoring for the Rangers. Fans are hoping to see more from Riley tonight, who won the Red Tilson Trophy earlier this week, naming him the most outstanding player of the league this season. Earlier today, I caught up with the Rangers COO Joe Birch, who talked about some of the emotions heading into this matchup tonight.
It's a lot. It's everything from a little bit of nerves and anxiety. I know that certainly exists with me and I'm sure the players, but it's excitement and it's special. And everywhere around the organization, we're telling everybody to enjoy it, embrace it. You're not here all the time. And so make sure that you make the most of it. But it's a really, really exciting time in the franchise.
As I mentioned, the fans are fired up, and depending on how this series plays out, if the Rangers were able to sweep the series, this would actually be the last time that they play in front of this home crowd. So, but before heading out west for that Memorial Cup, but not getting too ahead of ourselves, focusing back on tonight's game. Puck drop is in just over 45 minutes at 7 p.m. Tony.
Oh, you can't help but think of the possibilities, though, Karis. That is for sure on a night like tonight. CTV's Karis Map live at the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. Start your day with the CTV Kitchener newsletter. Local content from our newsroom right to your inbox every day. We've got an email each and every morning with the day's top stories, the latest forecasts, and must-see videos. You can sign up over on our website, ctvnewskitchener.ca. Moving on from the mayor's chairs, just ahead, CTV's Alexandra Hollick will sit down with two well-known Waterloo Region politicians who've decided it's time to get out of politics.
Well, from frost to fog, we are expecting some through the overnight hours into your Saturday, but what will the weekend bring with it? That in your full weather forecast coming up. Stay with us.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvkitchener.ca, your home for news. When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Municipal elections are still a few months away, but a few longtime local leaders have already said they'll be stepping down and passing the torch on to someone else. North Dumfries Mayor Sue Foxton announcing just yesterday that she will not be seeking re-election, joining Woolwich Mayor Sandy Shantz. CTV's Alexandra Hollick has more on their journeys at the helm of regional townships.
I want to thank them because they are so amazing. You can't imagine how blessed I really am.
An emotional message of gratitude from outgoing North Dumfries Mayor Sue Foxton as she closes a nearly three-decade chapter in municipal politics.
I do think it's the right time. It's a selfish reasons. I want to be with my husband. Not real sure he wants to be with me, but I want to be with my husband. It's time.
Foxton's time with the township began in 1997. After serving more than a decade as a councillor for Ward 1, she took the leap and ran for mayor. She was elected in 2014 and quickly faced financial hardship.
When I first became mayor, and all our accounts were wiped out, and we had a huge deficit, and I had to freeze everything right away.
The township bounced back, but now Foxton says she's ready to pass the torch.
Just my age and seeing the next generation come up, and they'll handle it quite well.
It's a similar sentiment for Woolwich Mayor Sandy Shantz.
I'm getting kind of tired, and I think the position really needs fresh energy and fresh eyes.
Shantz was also elected in 2014 as the township's first female mayor.
That wasn't something that was really on my radar or that I really think about or talk about a lot, but there were a few times where I noticed that difference.
Looking back on her 12-year tenure, Shantz says she learned a lot, and there are things she would have done differently.
Arthur Street in Elmira is a mess. And what I would have done differently is I would have pushed to have the paving done, even though we didn't have a comprehensive plan for the downtown.
As for what she'll miss most about being mayor, Shantz says it's the people.
People have been so very supportive through difficult times, and yeah, thank you.
And while both mayors say they look forward to what's next, they also offer advice to the community and those to come.
I think you need to look at how the candidates make decisions, how they process what their values are. I think those are the important things that you want to see in your politicians.
When you don't get the vote you wanted and you're so upset, you have to let it go.
Municipal elections are set for October 26th, and nominations are open from now until late August. Alexandra Hollick, CTV News, Woolwich.
Elton John is being honored in Toronto tomorrow at the 15th annual Glenn Gould Prize Gala. As CTV's Pauline Chan tells us, for one of the gala's performers, it's a full circle moment.
It's been a good many years since Noah Parrots danced the role of Billy Elliot in the North American touring production of the Elton John musical.
The music is so central to the storyline of the show, and it really pushes Billy to dance, which is, you know, still sort of my life today.
Life for Parrots today is being a second soloist with the National Ballet of Canada, recently dancing another title role, Pinocchio. And he will be in the mixed program opening May 29th. But this weekend, he will be in the Glenn Gould Prize Gala honoring music legend Elton John. Other stars performing include Eric McCormick, Sarah McLachlan, and Diana Krall.
Everybody performing in the evening will be doing Elton John music. It's, you know, filled with Canadian music legends, and I am beyond honored to be a part of the evening as the sole dance component.
Parrott says Billy Elliot really introduced him to the possibility of a career in ballet, and he says the story is truly one of love.
You know, Billy wasn't who his father thought he was going to turn out to be. He wanted to dance, he didn't want to play sports, he had a love for music, and his father had to learn to love him and accept him for exactly who he was. And I think that's so important, especially for young boys who want to dance.
Parrots choreographed his gala solo, and he has a message for the composer.
You know, that show and that music gave me this responsibility of leading a show, and it still might be the hardest thing I've ever done on stage. So, you know, I thank you for that, and I can't wait to dance to this music again, because it's just beyond a full circle moment for me, and to have him in the audience is just incredible.
Pauline Chan, CTV News.
A live look through our tower camera right now toward Waterloo. A little bit of a hazy view out there tonight, but a pretty nice ending to this Friday. What a pleasant day we had, with very comfortable temperatures as well. A little bit of change rolling in for the weekend, but it's not going to be a total write-off. Ashley's here to tell us what to expect in just a few minutes. And coming up as well, the growing hunger crisis. We've got a reality check on the number of local children who are on wait lists for food programs. But next, Canada's job picture, what the data from the month of April is telling us about the economy. Welcome back. We were just kind of debriefing on what kind of weekend to expect weather-wise, and the consensus is don't expect as nice as today all weekend long.
No, today was probably the highlight day of the weekend, I would say, but tomorrow will start strong.
Okay.
So if you're an early riser, which we know you're not, Tony, but if you get up a little earlier tomorrow, the morning hours and early afternoon look like it will be pretty nice.
All
so
right.
Not too bad.
I mean, we'll take a salvageable weekend over a complete, you know, washout or a complete storm weekend. If we've got some hit and miss, I think we can plan around that.
There's a little wiggle room there. Let's take a look outside this hour just to see what we're in for. Look at that sky, nice and clear, a little bit hazy, but overall pretty nice when you consider we've had lots of on and off rain this week, and of course lots of cooler temperatures. It's been a pretty beautiful Friday for the most part. We woke up to a surprise snow dusting in some parts of the region, but overall things started to heat up pretty early. Let's take a look at our future cast, and we can see not a lot happening right now. We are still sitting under some pretty clear skies. We will see some overcast and potentially spotty showers moving through the overnight hours and then early Saturday morning. So if you're an early riser tomorrow, you might see a couple of scattered showers, things clearing until the afternoon, and then the rain comes back into play. Now, it looks like it will be a fast-moving system, potentially strong winds, and could be some isolated thunder showers. So if you are out and about tomorrow evening, just be aware that if things start to get dicey, maybe take cover and wait it out. The good news is it's not likely to last, and by Sunday evening, or sorry, early morning and then into Sunday daytime, we will see skies clearing again. Unfortunately, though, with that system, cold front as well coming in. So temperatures cooling off a little bit by Sunday. As we take a look at what's happening across the country right now, 14 in Victoria and Vancouver. On the other side of the Rockies, a very nice day in Edmonton. Mostly sunshine and 18. Through the prairie provinces, Saskatoon seemingly a mainly sunny day and 13 right now. Thompson sitting at 1 with a bit of cloud cover. Now over towards our east coast, towards our nation's capital, 12 in Ottawa, 10 in Sudbury, and 9 in Quebec City. So a little bit cooler across the board than we would like to see for this time of year, but not too bad. 12 in Halifax right now with a mix of sun and cloud. Here locally, we are sitting at 14 degrees, 13 for Hamilton, London, 16 in Windsor and Sarnia, the warmest spot in southwestern Ontario right now at 17 degrees. Overnight, we are dipping down to around 4 degrees. Expect fog patches after midnight. So Tony, on your drive home tonight after the late show, just make sure that you are being safe because it is going, rather it's Krista tonight on the late show. Sorry, Tony. So Krista, on your drive home from the late show tonight, make sure you are safe with that because it could be a bit scary sometimes with that fog once it gets really hard to see. Tomorrow we are expecting a nice warm day. 18 degrees is the expected daytime high, but as we just saw through the Futurecast, a risk of an afternoon shower. Taking a closer look at our almanac, back in 2020 we reached an overnight low of -4.2. So although we've had some cooler temperatures to start May off, it could be worse, right? We got to think glass half full on that one. As we get into our 7-day forecast starting in Waterloo region, by Sunday, the sun makes a return, but temperatures drop a little bit down to 13 degrees, and it's the overnights that we got to keep an eye on. We might see some more frost warnings in effect at the end of the weekend into the work week, with 0 expected through Sunday night and into your Monday night as well. As we take a look at Lambton, Kent, Essex, you also have a risk of an afternoon thunderstorm, a high of 18 tomorrow, 16 for Sunday, and sunny and 13 for Monday. And lastly, in southern Georgian Bay, also a little bit cooler there throughout the work week, so keep those umbrellas handy, keep your jackets handy, and hopefully, Tony, summer will be on its way sooner than later. Let's take a look at today's Weather Watcher picture sent in by CTV's very own Jeff Turner, who woke up to a light dusting of snow in Elora. These are the pictures proof. We've had a few other pictures come into the newsroom this morning from snow from around the region. So, you know, I wasn't just making it up, Tony. A little bit of snow was seen throughout the region this morning, but quickly vanished when that sun came up.
I am genuinely surprised because, of course, here in the city, we didn't
not a drop.
necessarily see anything.
Or a flake, I should say.
Yeah, not a flake
not
at all. But I mean, Elora is just north of us,
Not
just far enough that you make that degree or two difference.
Absolutely.
Back to winter. Okay. Ash, thank you for that.
Thank you.
It was a cold April for the Canadian economy as the nation lost 18,000 jobs. Statistics Canada says the unemployment rate rose to 6.6% last month. That's a 6-month high. The latest report says the labor market continued to show weakness in the face of U.S. tariffs and trade uncertainty. The unemployment rate increased the most among youth aged 15 to 24 and among men aged 25 to 54. Well, a heads up for anyone heading to Toronto this weekend, a number of closures and road work will make it a challenge. CTV's Sean Leathong with the information you need to know.
It'll be harder to get around with the Don Valley Parkway shut down this weekend.
I might leave the city probably early Saturday morning just to get out of the rush.
From 11 p.m. tonight until 5 a.m. Monday, the DVP's closed from Highway 401 to the Jarvis ramp for critical maintenance work, similar to the closure of the Gardiner just 2 weeks ago.
It's a nightmare. I mean, it's just too hard to get anywhere. Everything's really slow. You really have to change your plans and try to avoid downtown whenever these closures happen.
And there are likely lots of plans downtown. With the Blue Jays at home for games Saturday and Sunday, Toronto FC are welcoming Lionel Messi and Inter Miami to BMO Field. GO Transit's adding 6 additional trips for anyone coming down for soccer or baseball. But the TTC has announced closures along the Bloor line between Kipling and Jane for signal work.
It just cancels any plans that will be anywhere near downtown. I live in the West End, so I'll just try to stick over there for the rest of the weekend.
And the Sporting Life 10K rips down Yonge Street on Sunday. Of course, Sunday is also Mother's Day. So if traveling to see Mom usually involves a ride along the DVP, better leave early or make other plans.
I would expect a little bit more information as to when the closures happen and how long they're going to take.
The city announced the planned closure on April 21st, with the Gardner shut down on the 25th and 26th, and the DVP planned for this weekend. The reason, they say, is to maintain infrastructure ahead of events like the FIFA World Cup, which is just over a month away.
But on the weekend, no. I'll take the transit, like the TTC for downtown.
The city says this closure, while inconvenient, will save 25% of the cost, result in fewer lane closures overnight, and allow work like full repaving in some sections, along with making progress along the Eastern Avenue Bridge project and the Bayview Bloor ramp. For this weekend, it'll be
congestion, frustration, a lot of angry drivers probably.
So if you don't have to, it may be best to stay away.
Sean Leathong with that report. Coming up, vision loss connected to tattoos. The revealing findings of a W5 investigation.
5K a Day is back on 105.3 Virgin Radio. Listen to Jeff KP and Backstage Ben for your chance to win $5,000 every weekday. 5K a Day, Virgin Radio.
A W5 investigation has found a growing number of Canadians appear to have vision problems connected to their tattoos. The rare and painful condition can sometimes lead to vision loss. Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
I went to school and I was like, guys, I'm getting a tattoo. I'm so excited.
Alicia Thompson of Oshawa was 15 when she got her first tattoo, and over the years, she's added many more.
After that, it was a snowball effect. I just kept getting more and more tattoos.
In her early 20s, she noticed her tattoos would become inflamed and painful. Then she started to develop eyesight issues.
My eyes would be crusted right over, and they would be red. I would have to put on sunglasses.
Thompson was diagnosed with tattoo-associated uveitis. Her immune system was reacting to the tattoo ink, causing eye pain, light sensitivity, and vision loss.
I have no vision in my center vision in my right eye.
My wrist here, some symbols.
Zachary Adamkowski-Sissons of Thunder Bay has tattoos and says when he was 20 years old, he developed eyesight problems.
I started having issues with my right eye. It started to become red and inflamed. It became a little pussy. I couldn't open it.
He also has tattoo-associated uveitis and requires ongoing treatment.
I can't get more tattoos.
About 1/3 of Canadians have at least one tattoo. That's more than 13 million people. Researchers say if you have a tattoo, you should not be alarmed by the study, saying tattoo-related vision loss is extremely rare.
But a recent Australian study suggests the condition can't be ignored. We spoke with Dr. Josephine Richards in Australia, who was part of the research. She was shocked that 40 cases of tattoo-associated uveitis were identified there and says other healthcare professionals need to be aware of it.
If they know about it, then they can look it up and they will see that it is quite a serious problem.
Well, I read about it, but my first patient was over 10 years ago.
Dr. Nupra Bakshi is a uveitis specialist at St. Michael's Hospital in Toronto. She says while the condition is rare, more cases are showing up in Canada, and there are signs to watch out for.
The tattoo is raised, the tattoo is swollen, there's bumps around the tattoo, and they also have inflammation inside their eye.
There are some concerns about the type of tattoo ink being used. According to Health Canada, tattoo inks are subject to Health Canada's cosmetic regulations. Under the Food and Drugs Act, it is the responsibility of the manufacturer or importer to ensure the product they are selling is safe.
I think the main thing to keep in mind is have your tattoo at a reputed salon with, an artist of good reputation. If possible, perhaps find out what pigments are used just so that you have that for your own records.
Dr. Bakshi says researchers here plan to compile their own data on the number of Canadians with the condition.
Even just speaking with other colleagues in Toronto, between us, we have over 10 to 15 cases just within our city.
Thompson agrees more study is needed and wants answers.
I feel like there does need to be more research so that people are more informed on what kind of ingredients are being used inside of the tattoo ink.
Pat Foran, CTV News, Toronto.
It's time now to recap our top stories on this Friday. Krista Simpson is live in studio with us with the latest. And Krista, our top story tonight, reaction to that shakeup at Conestoga College.
Well, Tony, yesterday the province announced it had fired the college's board of governors and replaced it with an administrator after an audit revealed concerns around financial mismanagement. Today, union leaders are calling for more transparency from the government. They want to see the detailed audit that was done, and they'd like layoffs paused at the college for the time being. They'd also like to see former President John Tibbitt's name taken off the Waterloo campus. We're learning more about 2 residents of the Grey Bruce area who were on board the MV Hondias cruise ship where there's now a Hantavirus outbreak. Ontario's medical officer of health says they are isolating in their home, and those 2 individuals are not showing any symptoms at this time. They will be observed for 45 days. The local medical officer of health says there is low risk to anyone living in the area.
And Krista, on our website, our team has a story about a Brantford man who's charged with numerous sexual assaults.
Yes, Tony, police have released a photo of 35-year-old Zachary Steele. They say he was involved in the live-action role-play community, and police are concerned there are more victims that have not yet come forward. For more information on this, as well as what police have to say about his online activities and some of the aliases used there, go to our website, ctvnewskitchener.ca, or scan the QR code on the bottom left of your screen to get the story on our CTV News app. Tony.
All right, Krista, thank you. CTV's Krista Simpson with a look at our top stories tonight. Children across Waterloo Region are going hungry when they're not in school. Rising grocery costs and financial pressures are pushing more families to seek help, with hundreds of kids now on wait lists for food support programs. CTV's Spencer Turcotte reports.
Volunteers at Food for Kids Waterloo Region are always hard at work, making sure when the school bell rings for the weekend or summer break, children don't lose reliable access to food.
Children have some access to food when they're at school, but what happens if those same children are living in food insecure homes? What happens when they go home? So that's where we step in.
Food for Kids Waterloo Region provides weekly food packages for children living in food insecure homes, helping fill the gap on weekends, holidays, and throughout the summer. The organization feeds about 1,500 children every week across Waterloo Region, delivering food through 132 schools and directly to homes during the summer months.
Every weekend and every school break, all the 9 weeks of summer, over Christmas break, over March break, it's about 179 days of the year.
But demand continues to grow.
Here's the thing, Spencer, is that there's 317 children on our wait list.
The Food Bank of Waterloo Region says food insecurity remains at historic levels locally, with nearly 73,000 people relying on food assistance programs, including 26,000 children. And summer can put even more strain on struggling families, with kids home more often and grocery bills continuing to climb. Food for Kids says the rising cost of food is also affecting their operations.
It's $1,400 a year to feed one child in our program. But just to give you some idea of how things have gone up, last year it was $1,200 to feed one child in our program.
That increase adds up quickly for an organization supporting so many children without any government funding. But Food for Kids won't let that get in the way of helping even more kids.
So our strategic plan is to feed 2,250 children by June of 2028. It's a lofty goal, but we are pretty confident that with our incredible community around us, we're going to meet that goal because children need to be fed.
Spencer Turcotte, CTV News Kitchener.
Aiming to make robotics a field for anyone. Just ahead, CTV's Heather Senerin on how affordability concerns sparked an effort to create a new event, widening the tech playing field for kids. After months of building and fine-tuning, high school students from across Waterloo Region put their best robots forward today at an annual robotics competition called Mechmania. And it's changing the game because of its mission to break down financial barriers in the world of robotics. CTV's Heather Senerin explains.
2, 1, go.
It's like the NBA Finals of robotics.
There we go.
This year's theme at Mechmania is eco-friendly, so sinking buckets symbolizes something else.
It's themed after picking up trash, and so students are going to be able to use their robots to pick up trash and put it in garbage cans.
For some, it was nothing but net. Just like in other sports, getting too physical on the court is frowned upon. Robots could also test their green thumb in the soil.
Yeah, that's it. Close it.
And students are going to have their robots plant trees out in a line, and then they'll be judged on how many trees they can plant. And they're mini tree saplings that we 3D printed.
Mechmania started 3 years ago after a few students from Waterloo Collegiate Institute wanted to join a robotics competition but couldn't afford it. So they took matters into their own hands.
So we decided, if we can't join them, we'll do it ourselves. So we ended up getting a bunch of grant money from the city, and we said, we'll make our own robotics competition for everybody in the city.
How far?
Making robotics accessible for other schools too.
We buy parts and we distribute them, and for all schools coming, absolutely free of charge.
The founders say they came from humble beginnings and are proud to have expanded, with 9 schools within the Waterloo Region District School Board taking part. This year it was held at the University of Waterloo.
Then I walked in here today and my mind was blown. Just seeing the progress from first, second, and third year. We have so many people here today, and our parts are genuinely professional for just the robotic industries.
Building a strong sense of community and teamwork that will take them to their next chapter in life.
And because of this, I applied to mechatronics engineering, and that's where I'm headed in the future. It's a perfect segue for me.
Heather Centerin, CTV News, Waterloo.
Amazing. I'm telling you, it's far more advanced, Ash, than anything we did in high school, isn't it?
Oh, goodness. The dioramas that we made back in my day in high school would not compete with the talent and smarts of this year's generation. I mean, kudos to you guys. But what were we looking at in the morning? A good start to Saturday. Those details just ahead. Start your night off with E-Talk at 7, followed by The Big Bang Theory, then Celebrity Jeopardy All-Stars at 8, Happy's Place at 9, Children Ruin Everything, and then cap your night off with Boston Blue at 10.
Tonight, a triple murder rattles an Ontario community.
Just puts a bad feeling in your stomach.
The personal connection between the suspect and victims found inside the home. We'll have that story and more later on CTV National News and watch on Crave.
Bounce 99.5 has the music you just can't quit. Home of Bounce Mornings with Angie Hill and Sarge. KW's Bounce 99.5. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app.
On the bright side.
All right, welcome back. Caught us on a little end of a laugh there. We were just talking about music. But it's time to talk about weather.
Yes.
And I like that we're finishing the week on a nice note and kind of starting the weekend that way, too.
It's not bad. You know, we know it's a little cooler than we would like for this time of year, but at least the sun is shining. It's been a pretty decent Friday, and Saturday is going to start off pretty well as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's take a look at what we're looking at first thing tomorrow morning on our wake-up weather board. 6 at 6 a.m., 8 by 8 a.m. That doesn't happen too often,
No.
Tony, and 13 by 10. So I think it's relatively safe to say we're not going to wake up to snowy frost anywhere around the region tomorrow morning, but keep an umbrella handy because rain is also on the way.
Okay. And if you're wondering what we were laughing about, I was saying there's no bad time for Mr. Brightside by the Killers.
Yeah.
And you were saying you like it in limited doses.
I mean, maybe once a month is enough.
If you know the song and you love the song like I do, you know what I mean. Anyway, it's time to turn things up at the odd, because the song the Rangers hope to be singing tonight is a victory song.
Oh, absolutely.
Game 2 of the OHL Championship Series is about to get underway. We're minutes away from puck drop. Rangers against the Barrie Colts. Of course, Rangers have jumped out to the early lead in this series. Let's head back to the odd now. Karis Mapp standing by. Big series for the team, Karis. They are already up 1 game over the Colts.
That's right, Tony. This is actually the first time that the Rangers have played in this championship series in 18 years. So while people within the organization have been telling me how excited and some of the nervousness they've been feeling, the fans have also been stopping by to come and tell me how they're feeling, including one of our youngest Rangers fans, 6-month-old Oakland. And can I get a little Go Rangers Go? Go Rangers Go! Go Rangers Go! All decked out. So the Rangers are on the hunt for their 5th title in franchise history and their first since 2008. Meanwhile, the Coats are searching for another OHL championship after winning their first and only in 2000. Earlier, I was talking about being potentially the last game the Blue Shirts will play in front of their home crowd. That would be best case scenario in this best of series 7 series. You can hear those fans. With a win tonight, they could head to Barrie for the next 2 games, and if they win both there, they will have booked their ticket out west to the Memorial Cup in Kelowna. I spoke with some of the excited fans earlier who told me what this Rangers franchise means to them.
I like to get out to as many games as possible. My grandfather used to work in the odds, so he used to get me out for games like when he worked here. So yeah, obviously I'm pretty keen on the team winning, hoping they can make it to the Memorial Cup, go from there. I'm definitely hoping they come back here for another good game. The series drags out, it'll be more physical, more heated. Those games are always more entertaining. So I'm hoping it kind of drags out for a couple more games.
Other fans I spoke with said that they're torn because they want the Rangers to win this series, but would ideally like to see it happen in front of a home crowd. But as I said, puck drop, you can hear the energy in here momentarily. Everybody's getting to their seats. Little Oakland, she's getting so excited to watch the Rangers. Tony, puck drop at 7 p.m. What else can you say about it?
All you can say is we'll have more at 11:30, Karis. Go, Rangers, go. Thank you so much. Karis Mapp live at the Odd. You know, we both know what that energy feels like.
It was so much fun earlier this week.
2 nights ago, we were on hand for Game 1, and I'm feeling good about this one tonight, Ash.
I think the home crowd, I mean, we're 24-1 now with the wins at home.
That's true.
So let's go for 25
ice
tonight.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And we'll have all of those details at 11:30 when Krista Simpson is back at this desk with your next local news. Of course, that comes right after the CTV National News at 11. And Ash, as we close out the week and take a look at some scenery from around the region, well, we kind of had a little bit of everything this week, a little unsettled as far as the weather goes. May just doesn't want to give us that hint of summer just yet.
We're almost there, Tony, I promise.
Patio season, I feel like, is not far off. Some have already been open.
Some have been, and then you might catch one early enough tomorrow before the rain comes through.
Well, make the most out of it, whatever you're doing this weekend. We will be back on Monday. Until then, take care. Have a good night.